Well guys, we were out at this yard on Saturday. It's Monday now. Supposed to get some heavy rains coming in. I screwed up. I put jar feeders on top of them, not thinking about the rain coming in, washing around them and leaking. Those aren't watertight and they will leak, and cold rainwater will drip down on the cluster because we put them directly over the top of it. So we were lazy and it bit us in the hind end because now we're out changing them again just a couple days later. What we're going to do, we're going to manipulate the frames and we're going to slide the cluster over to the actual frame feeder. That way we can have syrup on them without, you know, drowning and wetting the bees with the rainwater that's coming in. And luckily we've only got a couple of these jars on top of colonies, but we just don't want to take the chance. They're small enough as they are, and honestly we ought to combine them or just do away with them, but I like to see if I can save them whenever it's not too time consuming, so that's what we're doing. One or two little bees up here, not many. One. And like I say, this is a super small colony anyway. Real tiny cluster. And that we've got this these sugar blocks still on them, and that'll help tremendously also because they can access it. And this frame's actually got stored feed in it, but the cluster's so small, if it gets real cold at night or 3 or 4 days in a row, they're not going to be able to move over to it. So that's why we're feeding it. A lot of beekeepers think that just because they have frames of food in their colony that they're fine, and that's just not the case. A lot of times, if the cluster can't move to access that feed, it does you no good. You can see on the back here, she had started raising some brood and nothing. And here's our little patch now, nothing spectacular. A little bit of eggs, but this colony may not make it, but we're going to try our best. There's our queen. She's got just a tiny patch. Now keep in mind, we will give this colony some brood later on, but honestly, I wouldn't feel comfortable giving them any extra bees right now because of the size of this. I mean, we may end up combining this or dropping it down in a nuke, to be honest with you. Honestly, seeing the size of this cluster on this hive, I've decided their best option for food and resources is right on top. So we're going to put their pollen patty back. And we're going to put their sugar back on top of them. And we're just going to completely remove the liquid feed off of this colony. One of our bees out behind the apiary at the creek getting some water on some moss growing on a log. It's pretty cool to see. And the little girl out getting her a drink of water. Water source is real important for your bees, especially to have one nearby. If you can see these seeds, this is goldenrod. We'll just spread those out. The more we get, the better. Hey guys, same thing on this colony. They're big enough they can access it over here. The rain's coming in, so we just want to move this cluster over next to this feeder to prevent any rainwater from getting down into this colony, especially this colony because it's got one of our queens that we're hoping to rear queens from this spring. So just want to show you what we're doing. We was out here the other day doing the same kind of work, but we didn't do it at the time, and we should have. What I'm looking for is I'm just going to the frame that they're working on, like this one. See, they're storing some of that syrup already, and we're going to put this frame against the feeder and move this one out of the way, just so they're close. In case it gets cold, they'll be able to access it. I also want to look and see how this queen's performing. We hadn't checked it a lot. We just kind of left her to her own self for a while. Yeah, a lot of stored pollen in this comb. It's a little dark out here and I don't see as good as I used to, but I do see eggs. So she's still trucking along. She's trying to build this colony up. I don't know if you can see the brood she's got laid. And she's nowhere near the best that she's been, but this is her 4th season and I want to keep her around. Especially want to keep her genetics in our yard, so that's what we're doing today. There she is, there's our 4-year-old mother. Still going strong. If you look at this pattern, like I say, it's not the greatest, but it's still early in the season, and that's not too bad for 4 years old. That's pretty good. It's a great mother queen to have. We're just going to be very careful with her. We're going to close this colony back up. That's another reason we're going to plastic foundation. It alleviates a lot of that problem. We're just going to fill this up with a jar. And sprinkle a little over and let them know that they got some feed in here. And we'll see you at the next yard. Not sure if you can see this colony. They're really going to town on that pollen supplement we added, and their feeder is nearly empty. So tomorrow will be a good day to come back through these colonies and fill them up again, just to make sure that they have. I mean, we've got the syrup on the tank, so we're going to go ahead and use all we got. Always keep in mind up here in this burr comb, make sure you're not squishing your queen. She likes to get up in there a lot and lay drones, so keep that in mind whenever you're taking these covers off. And what I generally like to do is shake them just to be sure. And give her an opportunity to get down out of that burr comb. We'll even give them a little bit of smoke to push them down. We need to get this burr comb out as soon as possible. It just makes these colonies harder to work. I'm not seeing any fresh wax though, so I'm not sure if they're drawing any wax yet or not. Probably not. But with the red maples coming into bloom, that'll really fire these colonies up. If we get much of a bloom, it doesn't look too promising this year.